how did we get here? When will we stop joking? I mean, I've just seen something. Price of iron rods up by over 30%, from 6,200 per ton. It's gone to 8,500 per ton. Our leaders are still speaking about affordable housing. I mean, when will we stop the jokes?
Well, Randy, we got here very easily. We came from a policy perspective of industrialization. You know, of producing the things that we need so that we can end or minimize our reliance on imported goods and thereby also make a contribution to stabilizing the city and so on. So from the policy perspective, this was okay. This was something that all of us needed to support. But what did we do in reality? In reality, we went to Tamale, saw an already existing motor kiln assembling plant, painted the gates, and declared it one district, one factory. This is how we got here. We got here.
Kwesi, that's just one example.
Yeah,
and
that's
so,
I mean,
which
makes the point that I want to make.
But you could have used a Kumfi or other ones as well.
It doesn't make the point I want to make.
Okay, sure, that's fine.
The point I want to make is made by the motor kiln assembling plant in Tamale. We went and painted the gate, repainted the gate, and declared it one district, one factory. Achievement. So it is this propaganda, the deception and so on, which has led us here. Because everybody knows that the situation in which we are importing toothpaste is unacceptable. Your city will continue to fall. The situation in which, you know, we are virtually importing everything, including tomatoes and so on, your city will fall. But instead of genuinely tackling the problem with a realistic plan and so on, we are interested in throwing things about. Propaganda.
Look at the money we've thrown at planting for food and jobs. Food is driving inflation. I don't even know if after these 4 or 5 years, we've sat down to even evaluate the whole planting for food and jobs thing and whether we got it right. But we won't stop throwing money at it. And food...
Do we throw money at actually growing food, or we are throwing money at propaganda? We are throwing money at propaganda. And propaganda doesn't produce food. You understand? So this is where we are. I mean, this morning, I'm sitting here and watching some of the videos which are being played on this network as part of this program. And I'm watching the videos and I feel sad.
Why?
I feel so very sad about this young man that we were told was an economist, who became vice president, and so on, and who made it look like just with a magic wand you could transform the Ghanaian economy one time, so and so. Clearly, it is not working. It is not working. I mean, when you have a situation where your CD now is exchanging for the dollar at almost 8 CDs to a dollar.
It's past 8.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's past 8. As of yesterday, it's broken the 8.
I mean, so what is happening to us? Look at petroleum prices. Look at food production. It is really, really, really sad. You know. Look, these are not new problems. I don't think that anybody can say that these are new problems. But they've gotten worse.
Just in December.
They've gotten worse.
In December, if anybody had told me that we'll be buying petrol for 45, 46 cities in March, I'm sure that I would have bet on all my savings. I mean, 1 gallon of petrol, 45, 46 cities. How? How?
And you see, the other thing which pains me is that we are facing this reality. Okay. And it is obvious that what we've come to you need a new style of leadership. You need new commitments, and you need some measure of consensus building in order to get out of this jam. Look at the style of leadership we have today. Look at the style of leadership we have today. Still strictly on the path of partisanship, and teasing and so on and so on. Is that how to resolve these serious economic problems?
Look, gentlemen, just 2 months ago on this show, I don't know if you were at the panel, Mr. Alex Moult, he sent a text message on this whole Forex thing and the implication on petroleum products.
I was on the show. I think Eric was on the show.
Where he said that the Bank of Ghana should rather focus at least on the dollars that they put out on the market. They should focus on those who import fuel and give it to them at their rates. And that is one of the ways that we will deal with the issue. That's 2 months ago. Interestingly, just today, COPEC stopped the needless auctioning of dollars on the open market, COPEC to Bank of Ghana. And COPEC is saying that the bank should direct its dollar reserves towards one of the critical petroleum imports. He added that if the bank refuses to take that step, quote, you are simply going to have them OMCs go to the black market and BDCs also go and seek after the dollar. And you and I know the black market rate usually will be a bit higher than the interbank rate. The Bank of Ghana will need to classify petroleum importation a bit differently from how we treat other general imports into the country. And his comments follows the assertion from the BDCs that persistent hike in the fuel prices as a result of the weak and depreciating cedi. He says if you look at the position of the cedi currently, it is difficult to contest and to put pressure for them to reduce their price, especially when you look at the fact that they would need to reconvert the cedi noted to dollars and be able to pay their suppliers. Now, if you look at the reasons for the increment, they put the issue of the cedi dollar there and the depreciation of some 9-point-something% from when the last pricing window was made to now. And this is something that Alex Moult spoke about 2 months ago.
But it is not that simple.
Yes.
Because I recall that in 1983, we had the system of multiple exchange rates.
Yes.
Based on similar arguments.
Yes.
And it didn't work, and eventually we had to abandon it. The real question here is what weight do you put on different things?
Yes.
For example, what weight are you putting on food?
Yes.
As against petroleum prices?
Yes.
What weight are you putting on the things that you need for your health sector and so on?
Yes.
So it's about weighting.
Yes. Instead of spreading yourself thin.
Yeah,
and not having the necessary impact.
But that weighting, we tried it before. It didn't work.
Randy,
you understand?
I think that.
But if you look at, just a minute. If you look at the implication of petroleum prices on your economy, this proposal makes some sense to me.
No, but
if you look at the implication.
About 3 years ago or 4 years ago, Nigeria did something similar.
Okay.
In terms of having like I think a 3-tier exchange rate system, one through the banks and for businesses and all of those things. I would have to go back and figure out what happened and all that.
But we've done it in Ghana before.
Yes, and so you're talking about 1983. Right. So the reality is that I think that so we moved into a very liberal economic system where all of these things were basically left to the exigencies of demand and supply. And that's why I'm using the word nationalistic advisedly.